So we have Sydney, correct?
Sydney, yes.
So go ahead and fill me in on Sydney.
All right, she was, I sort of put some of this in, but I guess it was probably 2-3 years ago, we got her from a shelter, or actually it was a foster home. And I, being my age, etc., I knew that, winter walks were not in the cards. So I thought we would pad train her, which, to go in the house on a pad. And it was never really 100%, good. I would say she would vary. It would be interesting. She would go on the pad and then she would, she might do that for several days, both poop and pee, and that was great. And then she would go someplace else. And that's been kind of what's been taking place. And it's been a little trying because she was, we have hardwood floors, so she was kind of destroying the hardwood floors. But at any rate, and then we had originally gotten her 3 years ago for my husband, who had Parkinson's, as kind of a companion dog. And she is just a love, and she's absolutely perfect, was perfect that way. She would sit on his lap and, and be his companion. Anyway, he passed away about 4 months ago. So she probably did go through, a sense of loss, I think. Anyway, but I think that she certainly is bonded with me. I mean, she follows me from room to room. At any rate, it's her bathroom habits were never good. And she would go through stages, as I say, where she'd be good for several days and then she would just blow it. And the way I trained her initially was with a treat. When she would go, and with a scolding, when I would pick her up and put her down near where her accident or whatever it was, and say no. And, she would sort of, not terribly, but she would sort of slink off, with her tail down for a few minutes anyway. Anyway, that's how it's been. After my husband passed away 4 months ago, I replaced the flooring in his room with an impervious tile, a ceramic tile.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I'm putting the pad. So I know, and I keep, again, I put the pad there, and when she goes there, which is erratic, but she does go there. So I figure she does know where she's supposed to go. She gets a treat and she gets, rewarded by, pets and stuff like that. But she doesn't do it consistently. I mean, she would just decide that she wants to go someplace else. And that's basically that's the main problem with her. I mean, she has a couple of other issues like barking and stuff, but it's the going, the housebreaking that's really, and I think she knows where she's supposed to go. I mean, I would say, well, at this point, she's probably, ever since I moved the pad to go onto this floor, which, if it runs off the pad a little bit, it's not a big deal or anything like that. So the only problem with that room is that sometimes somebody is going to be sleeping in there. And I would love her to be tied to knowing that where the pad is where she goes. But I don't think it is. I mean, she would just, she has taken an affection for one of our area rugs that she has done. So I guess that's the issue.
Okay. Anything else I should know about Sydney, or what you're trying to? What
She's,
you're,
uh, I mean, for us, she is absolutely perfect. I mean, she's a fairly low, low energy kind of, she's small and, and she isn't real. She's about 7 years old and
Mhm.
she isn't, she's not hyper at all, which is great. And she loves to cuddle. And she's really, she does tend to bark a lot more than I really would like, but I mean, my big problem is her really that, and at some point, especially now that my husband is deceased, I'd like to travel with her too. And but I've got to know what her bathroom habits are going to be.
Mhm.
Now, I took her out tonight for a walk around 5:30 or 6, and she went. She urinated. I've never seen her poop outside, but she did urinate once. She drinks lots and lots of water, but I mean, she goes a lot, when she goes, but usually probably urinates maybe 3, maybe 4 times a day. The only thing is that where I have the pad now in one of the back bedrooms, it's a little bit farther. She sleeps with me at night. It's a little bit farther from our bedroom to where she goes. I guess I have a question. Are they night blind or can they see at night?
Um, I
It is.
think they have enough. I think they can see enough at night.
Because I've been putting like night lights so that she can find her way into that room.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
so anyway, so she has some light, but I didn't know if she was getting enough light to find it. Now today, like, I went in there this morning and not when I first woke up and when she first woke up, but a little bit later about an hour later in the morning, and she had gone poop and peed, and big celebration and a treat and all that sort of stuff. And nothing until she peed outside today. And I don't think she's sometimes sort of sneaky about where she pees, but I looked for it, but I couldn't find it.
Okay.
So I think maybe she didn't go the rest of the day.
Okay. And is this why you're reaching out to us, correct? The
Yeah,
potty.
yeah,
Okay,
really.
you're not looking for like any. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not only is it really difficult here in the house when I'm home, but if I travel with her, it's going to be really tough. If she doesn't go where there's a pad, I
Yeah.
can't travel with her.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, is
Yeah.
it possible to train her to go just, to relieve herself just where there's a pad?
Yes. This. Yeah. So trying to think because your situation doesn't really require anything else other than this consultation. I believe like we there's no reason to have lessons or anything like that. It's super easy to fix, kind of.
Well, I probably need lessons more than she does, I guess.
Yeah, it's just because it's super simple. Because all you have to do is just put her on a schedule and on your schedule, not her schedule, right? So she's peeing and pooping whenever she wants, but
Yeah,
we need her to be on a schedule. Because is she crate trained?
no,
So she's never been in a kennel.
no.
Okay. How long has she been having potty mistakes?
Ever since we got her,
And how old was she then?
it was about 3 years. She was 5.
5. Okay. Did they tell you she had potty mistakes, or they're just like they didn't?
I'm not sure. They weren't real clear. I'm not sure that they really considered her. In fact, I'm sure that they didn't really consider her fully housebroken.
Okay.
I don't think she was fully housebroken, really, one way or the other.
Okay. So you definitely want to get a crate. How big is she?
She's about 9 pounds,
Oh,
19
yeah.
pounds.
Okay. So you'll get like those small crates for her. Only enough for her to stand up, move, go in a circle, and then lay down. She shouldn't take more steps left, right, or anything. She should stand up, circle, and sit, and then lay down. That's enough. That's the most room she should have in that crate. The reason why I asked if she's kennel trained or crate trained is because when we hear about like potty issues, we take it all the way back to like puppy training, when you're potty training a puppy. Because what we tell our puppy training clients is that definitely utilize the crate, because when you're teaching something to dogs, you need a positive and a negative. There is no negative, right? The reason why you bring her to you pick her up and then you bring her to the spot and then you yell at her is not because she's thinking, oh, I peed, I did bad. She just doesn't like your energy. So she's like, I don't like this, I need to get away. It's sometimes it's very difficult for dogs to associate those two together. And like, that's like not effective. So what you're gonna wanna do is, again, have her on a schedule. So is she having potty mistakes in the middle of the night?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You know, it's you know, she'll sleep with me, and I'm pretty sure she isn't. Because when I wake up in the morning, you know, I'll check. But again, you know, sometimes she has been known to go on, like, we have an oriental carpet. It's hard to find it on an oriental carpet, you know, if she urinated on it.
Where is that
I'd
carpet?
walk
Like,
on it.
is that carpet in the living room, or where's that carpet located?
That carpet's in the living room,
Okay. All right.
and I can't close off the living room.
Yeah. So what I would do, get a crate. Crate her when she's not being, how do I say? So if you're not like playing with her or cuddling with her, you're not, with her, or you're not watching her, she's going to be in the crate. So the moment you wake up, she should be in the crate throughout the night. Since we don't know if she's making mistakes in the night, she will be in a crate, and this crate can be next to you. It doesn't matter. But she's going to be in the kennel.
I mean, I could put the crate in my bedroom next to my bed.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Because we're not trying to fix, we're just trying to do potty stuff, right? So let's say at what time do you usually wake up at?
7:30.
Okay, so 7:30, you wake up, you go to her crate is clean. She has not potty throughout the night. That's a good sign. So we take her out, we let her potty, and we need to have a designated location. So what you would do is you put her on the leash, right? This is on a leash. If you want her to go to a specific location, you walk her to that spot, and then you wait, and you just wait for her to go. I give it like 10, 15 minutes. Now this can be on the pad, or it could be outside, whatever you want to do. But if you want to go to the pad, you bring her to the pad. If you want to limit her like movement, what you can also do, and this isn't needed, you can buy a puppy playpen gate, and then you make a little square, and then you put the pad in the gate, and then what you can do is you pick her up and you put her in there, and then you wait. Once she has gone, number one and number two, then you take her out, and then you can have her for a little bit, like out of the kennel. So that's at 7:30, right? So by the time after that, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put her back. Actually, no. So in the morning, 7:30 hits, you take her to the potty pad on leash, or if you want to buy a little gate for her, a little like like a puppy playpen. You can put her in there. Then when she's done, you take her out and then you put her back in the crate and you feed her breakfast.
In
Now
the crate or out of the crate?
Um, as long as if you're watching her, it's fine. But we need to watch her, make sure she doesn't sneak off and does another accident. So as long as you're watching her, feed her her breakfast meal, and then water. Right? It sounds like you're giving her too much water. So if she's going a lot, number one, and you say she's drinking a lot, she shouldn't be drinking that much. We do ounce per pound for the day.
Oh, for the day?
Yes.
Oh, so she's just getting, should
She's
have
getting
this.
too much water, right?
Oh,
Now,
oh,
if she goes on the puppy pad, the potty pad, and you notice that her urine is clear, that's overhydration. It should be yellow. Okay. So then you put down, she gets breakfast and dinner, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
She has breakfast and dinner.
So ounce per pound, right? You give her the appropriate amount with her breakfast, and then
5 ounces.
correct. And then you take that away, and then she doesn't
The
get
water.
water or food until dinner. Then you put her in the kennel, and then your schedule starts. So like that'd be probably like 8 a.m. right there. So at 8 a.m. it starts. So she's in the kennel. So we'll start, I guess you can start at, just to see how it is at like 3 or 2-ish hours. So puppies can hold it. So like if a puppy is 4 months old, they should be able to hold it for 4 hours.
Oh,
Right?
she's grown. Yeah.
Exactly. But we're gonna see where she's at. So try 3 hours. I'd try 3 or 2. Probably start 2. You'll put her in the kennel, 8:30, 9:30 hits, you take her out, and you potty her in that same routine I gave you. Now, let's say, we finish at 8, not 9:30, 9. And let's say at 8:45, right, 15 minutes before her next outing, she potties in her kennel, right? She pees or poops or whatever, because maybe she didn't do that in the morning. She didn't poop in the morning. So she's like, I got to poop now. I'm going to poop right here. We leave her in the kennel with her mistake until her next outing. So if it was at 8:30, we need to wait till 9 to take her out of that kennel. Like I said before, there's a positive and a negative. The negative is having her deal with that mistake in her close space, right? Dogs hate being next to their mess. And like when we're training puppies here, one puppy made his first mistake in the kennel, and like he was like just like against the kennel, against like the wall of the kennel, trying to get away from the pee. He was just like this the whole time, just like waiting. And then after that, he never made another mistake. Like that was the only one, because you saw in his face, he absolutely hated it. Right? All puppies are different, but most of them, it's just instinct, right? Dogs don't pee or poop in their den, right? So they don't want to do it, but if they do it, they're thinking, they'll come and clean it up anyways, we'll be fine. But then they're like, oh, because what's going on is like, I just sat with that mistake for 30 minutes. I did not like that. So then if they do it again, it's very uncomfortable, and they start to see like, this is not good. I know I have to go, but I have to learn to hold it now, because if I go, I'm going to be stuck here with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, okay. Well, let me back up. She seems to have really strong will, because when we first got her, we would have the pad, and I would take her over to the pad on a leash and sit there with her on the leash, waiting for her to go. I mean, I would be there an hour, and she never went.
Okay.
I mean, she just didn't go. Even with her drinking a lot of water, I mean, she has the most incredible bladder I've ever seen, because she never went. It didn't work. I mean, sitting there waiting. The other strange thing, and it brings that to mind, she has, I swear it sounds so strange, but she doesn't like to go if you're watching, if anybody's near her. At first, you know, we had the pad and I would bring her to the pad and sit there and wait until she'd go. But I discovered she was going around, it was like a wall there. She was going around the wall into the room right behind it and going right there. So I figured that maybe she didn't want anybody to see her do it. Well, now, if you happen to, if she's in the process of going, even on the pad or wherever, if she's like squatting down or in the process and she sees you looking at her, she'll quit.
Mhm.
She'll stop.
Yeah.
Do dogs have modesty? She doesn't like you to see her. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Could be a few things. It could be that since she's had so many negatives or a few negatives when she potties, she's probably thinking you're going to correct her for pottying. You know, like that could be it. But I wouldn't worry. Like I said, you shouldn't be standing there for an hour. Like I said, 15 minutes, nothing, you're back in the kennel and we're waiting. And if until she goes, and then like the next outing comes, okay, we're trying again, 15 minutes, nothing. All right, you're back in the kennel. Eventually she's gonna be like, wow, I need to go now. And then when she goes on the pad and everything, you can definitely give her treats. Good girl, hype her up and everything. And then you can spend time with her and just watch her. Maybe even keep her on a leash and just like making sure she doesn't go anywhere else. Then you can kennel back up. And then again, next outing, potty and whatever before bed. And then, you know, you can go to bed, give her potty, give her dinner. Well, what time do you give her dinner at?
Usually around 6:30.
6:30. Okay, so you would out her. So if it's 7:30, 8 is probably when the schedule starts. So 8, 10, 8, 9, 10. So at 6, she's getting her outing there. After her outing, you go ahead and give her dinner and the water, the remaining water she has for that day. And then, so then it's like 6:30 maybe if you're giving her, you know, or like 6:20 or something because you have to wait 15 minutes. Nothing happens. You'll give her dinner, and then, so then your last outing would be before you go to bed. And then you'll just kennel her up and then just go to bed. Now,
So she could be in the kennel next to me in
yeah,
the
that's fine.
bedroom.
Yeah,
I mean, she usually hides under the bed anyway. I mean, she sleeps with me and then she goes under the bed and stuff
yeah.
during the night.
Yeah, try the kennel. And with the kennel, you don't want to put blankets in it. You want to keep it like the tray, because if we're using a blanket, what she'll do is she'll probably like pee somewhere, and then the urine will get soaked into the blanket and then it's gone. So she's like, okay, it left. So we need the tray because once she goes, it's still there. It doesn't go anywhere. So she has to deal with it.
So no newspaper on the bottom, just the tray and
Yes,
a little kennel.
correct.
Okay. What if she goes, I mean, I know I'm anticipating, but what if I put her in at night and she barks? She has been known to bark
I see.
a long time.
Barking for what? Like when you leave?
When she wants something, when she wants her water, she'll bark.
Okay.
When she wants to eat, she barks. When she
Okay.
wants to go out, she barks. I
So
mean,
what I
not go
would,
out to pee, but go out to walk.
yeah. So what I would do is maybe see how she does and then the kennel with next to you at night. If she starts barking, there's a few things we can do. What you can do is find a location in your home where the barking won't be so loud and disruptive for you. And you'll put like a little blanket over her kennel and just let her bark it out.
Okay.
Somewhere far away so it's not bothering you. Or if you have neighbors, you know, avoiding the neighbors, if you have upstairs neighbors or downstairs neighbors. And then let her bark it out and then kind of see how it's going, right? So first start with you. If she's being annoying, then you're like, okay, we're gonna move her to this room where it's quiet and I can't hear you, shut the door and all that stuff. If you find that the barking is still like the same, right? It's not increasing or decreasing, it's just the same. Then there's like something that's a behavior we have to correct. So what I would do is probably pick up like a bark collar, right? So that when she barks, the collar is correcting her for that action. And then she's like, okay, I just don't bark. And then she's able to settle down and probably go to bed. That'd probably just be the easiest for you so that you don't need to get up and you know, keep addressing her or anything like that. And you can just go to bed while that collar is doing the
Bark
correction.
collar, what about those hand thing, what's, I've seen it at bark something or another. You know, it's a hand thing. Well, of course, I'd have to do it then.
The hand thing.
You
Like
know,
a remote?
what?
A remote?
Yeah.
You can, you know, as you're going to bed, you start hearing barking, you can press the button and then, you know, wait a moment. And if the barking wakes you up, press the button. But like I said, it may be easier to just have bark collar. So like,
Okay.
you don't. And on the bark collar, it has a little screen and it says 0, 0. And then when you wake up in the morning, it'll show how many barks she did. So you can start to see if it's declining throughout the nights. Like if you don't hear it, you know, you'll start to see a decline. Also, it keeps track of the barks.
Okay. Okay. So okay, let me revamp this. Okay. I need to get a kennel for her and the bark collar. And I should put her in, unless I'm watching her.
Mhm.
You know, actually the whole day except the time that I take her out for about 15 minutes every 3.5 hours or so and put her on the pad.
What does her regular day of life look like with you?
She spends a lot of time sleeping,
Okay.
playing a little bit, you know. We go for this little walk and, you know, around dinner time, before dinner. And that's when she pees. She does it almost every night about that time. I don't think she pees other times during the day. I don't think. I mean, it's unusual.
So your goal is to have her go on the potty pad, not outside.
Right.
Okay.
I want her to go on the potty pad. I want when I put a pad down, that she goes on the pad, that she won't go someplace else, but she'll go on the pad.
Yeah.
So
most of the,
I mean, if it's realistic.
It's difficult, right? To me, it's easier to just kind of bring them outside.
Well, I'm in a condo elevator building.
Yeah, it's also like what's what is it? It's also like what your life looks like, you know. So that's how it looks. So that's
well, I'm retired, except, you know, so I mean I'm home, so it's easier. But I'm also I guess, how long does this take? I mean, I guess I could take 2 weeks off sort of and just do it, because I'm usually have things I'm running around doing.
Oh, how long are you usually gone from the house?
Usually 3 hours maybe.
3 hours. That's fine. All I would do is just kennel her up and then you can head out. That's good practice, you know. So if you're doing 2 hours, you leave for 3 hours, you're kind of seeing where her threshold is at, like how long she can actually hold it. But if you're already telling me she holds it for a very long time,
She can hold it, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, because okay, so with the puppies, right? When the clients, when we tell them, so during the pandemic, when the pandemic started, a lot of people got puppies. And then we started getting those clients and they're like, how do we do potty training and like, you know, all these other things. And it's like, or like they got a puppy and everything. So it'd be like, Jesse would always tell them, what would life look like if there was no pandemic with your puppy? And then I'm changing the subject. This is not really talking about potty training, but I'm talking about the fact that because I asked how your day looks, right? So with owners who just get a puppy, they always want to spend time with it. They love their puppy. So we tell them, how does life look like if there was no pandemic? Well, I'd have the 9 to 5. Well, you should, right, kennel your puppy 9 to 5 in another room. 5 p.m. hits, then you bring your puppy out. Getting them used to the schedule that life would be if there was no pandemic. Because if you're spending so much time with your puppy and then all of a sudden you got to go back to work, well, that puppy's definitely going to have some separation anxiety, right? So the reason why I'm asking like what life looks like is because some owners have a hard time being like 9 to 5, like my puppy's kenneled, and like they don't like that, like because they want to be with their puppy. So I'm just trying to see if like
But that's not forever, is it? That's just till they get used to it, right?
correct, yes. Oh, for the puppies or you're talking about Sydney for the kennel stuff, right?
Sydney too. I mean, eventually she'll be able to sleep with me again, won't she?
As long as she's doing her potty stuff correctly, right? It can also, for me personally, give me a better, just save me a lot of time if she's kenneled at night, because I wouldn't want to just kind of like look all over the house every single morning to make sure she didn't pee. I'd rather just have her be like, she's in the kennel, no accident, we're good to go, you know? And then that's if like she's, you know, all dogs are different, so they all progress differently. But for Sydney, what I was just asking was like, what she does throughout the day, and then like, you know, just seeing how long you would want her kenneled for, if she's just basically sleeping the whole day, just kind of like how that would look like. But
well, she, you know, yeah, I mean, I leave her about 3. Yeah, probably if I go out, I'll usually go out. I mean, typically 3, maybe 4 hours. I mean, I take her with me a lot. I take her shopping with me and stuff like that.
oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, just having that potty schedule that create the kennel is very important, because you need to have a negative for the potty training.
So the negative that they have is the kennel. That's not is it a negative?
The negative is being stuck with the potty mistake in the kennel. Because if she goes and pees on the carpet, well, that's good, because she just gets to avoid it. She's like, I peed over there, whatever, it's over there. I don't care. But if she's doing this like strike thing where she's like, I'm not going to go because you're watching me, well, that's like, well, then you're not going to go. You're going to go back to the kennel. And if you have to go, you're going to be stuck with it. Does that make sense? Because she's super like, nah, I don't want to go now. I'll go later when you're not looking. And that's not how, you know, that's not how it should be. Right. So it sounds mean, but we need to, train that. And then they learn faster when we add that negative, right? Because then they're okay, I don't like this. And like, this is the only opportunity I have to go. So I might as well just go, you know?
Okay. I mean, they really do think that out. I mean, they think that out.
Correct. Yes. And if you want, you can buy that playpen, like a little mini gates around the potty. You can put her in there and then you leave and you do your thing. 15 minutes is up. You come back, see what she did. If she pottied, give her a lot of treats, take her out and everything like that. Or like I said
Take her
before,
out and let her run around a little bit? Or walk?
if it's morning, you just put her back in the kennel or watch her eat breakfast and give her the water, remove him, and then just watch her. Right. If you're not going to be watching her, she should be in the kennel, because we don't want to see the little like, oh, she made a mess and it's too late. Now we can't do anything about it. Right. So as long as you're watching her, right, we need to keep an eye on her, see what she's doing.
Okay, that's not forever though, is it?
That's on her, right? If she's going to continue having potty mistakes, we will see what's going on. But once you start to see progress, you can play it little by little. It's just an issue because she's already older, and this is a practiced behavior for already like two something years, you know. So it's like we're battling against that much, and like who knows if she had the same issues with her last home, you know.
Okay. Now, can she be trained to go out and the potty and the pad rather?
Yeah,
Both.
outside and the potty pad. Yes. It would just be, I would just focus on one thing at a time. Maybe since your potty pad is like the more of the focus, probably just do that first. And then you can still do your evening walk, and she goes. Just keep track on, you know, when she goes. So after that walk, she's probably gonna want water. You do your walk at 6:30
Yeah, about before she has dinner.
before she has dinner.
Yeah.
So it'd be okay. Oh, that works. So it'd be food, water. You could probably give her a little bit more because she did the walk. So a little bit more because of that walk. And then after that, no more water. And she's just crated. And then before you go to bed, one last outing at the puppy pad, on the potty pad, or outside, however you want to go about it. And then kennel. Does that make sense?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Anything else? Any other questions?
Can I report back to you after or report back to Jesse or somebody? I mean, I have to get the,
the Enrique@canaanperspective.com, that email. Do that one.
Just let me write that down. Enrique, ENRIQUE
Correct.
at
K9 CANINE perspective.com. Yeah, make sure you get the small crate for her. I think it's a 24-inch kennel that would be best for her. 24-inch kennel. Nothing in there, just the tray. Ounce per pound with the water.
now, yeah, see, in the morning, usually it's a yellow urine.
Mm-hmm.
By nighttime, it's white.
Yeah, she's
Clear.
getting too much water. Yeah. What
she's
food are
getting
you
too much
feeding her?
water.
Sorry?
What?
Oh,
She's getting too much water.
yes. What's the brand of food you're feeding her?
Farmer's dog.
Farmer's dog. Sometimes with certain foods, if the protein in the food is too high, they'll want more water and they'll drink it like they're dehydrated. Farmer's food?
It's frozen fresh food.
Oh, is it raw?
It doesn't have to be cooked. I don't know if it's raw. Or I don't know, it's not cooked. I mean, when I get it, I don't know. It's
okay, you're fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's advertised on TV. Have you?
Let me
She
look at
actually likes it. I mean, it's the only food she's ever had that she liked.
for dogs.
You can't find it?
Oh, it's like in those packs that says the dog's name on it, right?
Yeah,
The
right.
Sydney- That's a good food, yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid she's losing. I mean, she doesn't get much of it, according to them.
She doesn't get much of it. Like they don't, or
I
her
mean, she
serving
gets
sizes are small.
what they suggest giving her. But I don't know if she's too thin or not. I don't know if she's too thin.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so any other
That's good
questions?
food, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean I think it's good food. I've
Is
I'm
it
not
raw or is it already cooked and
I
frozen?
think it's raw.
Okay.
Um I think it's raw. I'm not sure. If you want to find out more about nutrition, that's more like Maddie. Her name is Maddie. She's like knows everything about raw food, regular kibble. Just she knows everything. Um,
Yeah,
so if
this
you
is the
want,
only food that she liked.
yeah, I
She's,
just keep it that. Yeah, I just keep it the same. I wouldn't change her food,
but I
but
don't
just
think that. I mean, I think it's good food. I don't think it has too much protein. I don't know. I don't
it's good.
know.
Any other questions? Does all this make sense? It's just like it's just putting her on your schedule instead of her schedule.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah,
does this
I don't think she goes every 3 hours. There's just no way she goes every 3 hours.
okay? It depends. It's like as long as you have a schedule that's consistent, that she knows at this time we go potty.
Okay.
That's all that matters. So if you wanted to do one outing in the morning, one outing at the night, it's just a lot.
Well, that's a long time for her to hold it.
Correct.
She,
So
she,
that's why I don't know how. I don't know.
she urinates. I again, as I say, I think it's 3 times a day, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if that's 4 times.
Yeah,
3 times a day.
because the issue is if like the issue is those are the moments you're seeing her urinate. Maybe she's urinating other times, so that's why
Yeah.
it's kind of like okay, we'll do 2 hours just to see where she's at. All right,
Yeah.
she's good. She's been holding it, no mistakes. Then we're good. But then if we see like okay, we're seeing mistakes here and there, and because she doesn't want to go on the potty pad, then like okay, we'll keep it 2 hours, see how that goes. Once if she's struggling with 2 hours, keep it 2 hours. Then once she has been doing good on 2 hours, try 3 hours and then 4 hours and start extending it. However, whatever's fitting for your life and for your
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I said, as long as it's on a consistent schedule, because
Okay.
dogs thrive on repetition. So as long as it's repeating at a certain time, she knows. Like she knows when she's gonna get breakfast. She knows when she's gonna get lunch. She knows
Right.
at this time right here, it's potty time. She needs to go, or else she needs to hold it.
Okay.
Does
Yeah,
that
but
make sense?
she should be able to hold it all night.
Yes. Now
Yeah.
but the issue is we don't know if she's holding it all night.
No, I don't know if she is or not.
Yeah.
No. No.
Any other questions?
No, it's just that so I can get in touch with you
Yes.
as far as how she's doing. I mean, I have to get the kennel yet.
Yeah. Get the kennel. Give it.
And the collar.
Because I don't know if Jesse's doing this still. Because usually with these, like they don't really require lessons because it's just really simple. But I think I'm not sure if like you would, if it would be like if you want to keep talking and let's keep going. I'm not sure if you would want like you buy like a Zoom bundle, so we meet every something day, every other day on Zoom. We talk about how everything's going, and then we go from there. I'm not sure. But I will send you a follow-up email, kind of talk, with everything we talked about, everything will be laid out for you.
Okay.
And then I believe we'll go from there and see what happens. And then I'll just keep a lookout for an email from you, like an update. But I'll send you an email either tonight or tomorrow night.
Okay, okay. And okay. And what collar would you suggest I get? For Zander.
Oh, for the bark collar,
Mhm.
e-collar technologies,
E-collar.
technologies. I'll actually, let me hear. I'll include the link to it in the email. You
Oh,
click the link
great.
and it'll take you to the website to purchase.
Oh, that's great.
Cool. Anything else?
Not right now, I don't think, but I know something. I'll think of something that I forgot to ask you.
Okay. Let me see here. Other than that, I think that's all.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if I missed anything for potty training. Well, like I said, if she potties before her outing, leave her in there until the next outing.
Oh, she potties in the cage, you mean? I mean, in the kennel. I shouldn't call it cage.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, in the cage kennel, as if she potties in there.
Just leave her there.
Correct. Until the next time you were supposed to let her out. So like if you were supposed to let her out at 10, for example, and she pees or poops, whatever, at 9:20, you leave her there until 10. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Well, you want her to stay in there and suffer with it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. She might be a little vocal. She might be barking like, get me out of here, but you just want to leave her in there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
But you'll have the collar. Well, the collar is only good at night. You only do it at night, right? Or whenever.
If you put her in the kennel, since she's not kennel trained, if you find that she's barking in the kennel in the daytime too, you can put it on in the daytime.
Okay. 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 All right.
Anything
And
else?
I guess I can get the kennel on Amazon. Should I get it on
Or
Amazon?
I think any pet store, they should have them.
Okay.
And like PetSmart, Petco, whatever, I think, or Chrysler's. I'm
Okay.
not sure if Chrysler's sells kennels. I'm not sure. Cool.
Yeah, I
Anything
don't think we
else?
do. Okay. I think that's it. I think
All
that's it.
righty.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry that we got sort of, I don't know. I didn't see your initial.
no, yeah, it's fine. But I mean, we got to talk about it anyway, so I think it worked out really well. Plus, it's just you're just dealing with potty issues, so it's not, you know, it's just like we'll have to see how it goes, like how the scheduling goes with the potty stuff. But yeah, you're no worries. It's you had 8:30 to 9:30. It's your
I mean, she
time.
doesn't like other dogs, but I mean, that's not really critical to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anything else?
she tends to attack them,
Oh,
but she's small.
And she's 7. If that's not a concern and like your biggest concern, like because we do like ECOG training, like obedience, like we teach dogs a lot of commands, a lot of fun stuff. But it didn't sound like you were looking for those things, correct?
No, I just want to cuddle her. I just want to cuddle her.
Okay.
And she likes cuddling too.
Yeah.
But
Cool. Other than that, keep an eye out for the follow-up email, Sue. If any questions arise, please email me, enrique@canonforservice.com, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I'll get this stuff and give it a try and you send me,
An email, yes,
okay, thank you.
of course.
I'm sure I'll be in touch with you.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you, and you too.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.